Hello, my name is Mandy. I am with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is Opportunities in Sales Pipeline. So, we're going to go through an overview of creating an opportunity, the main features of an opportunity, and then I'm actually going to show you how to go from the beginning of creating your opportunity all the way to close. What does that sales pipeline look like within your command account? So we'll go through all of that today. If you're watching this back on recording and you have any questions, you can reach out to us via email, support@scottleroymarketing.com. If you are here with me live, you can definitely reach out in the chat here, put any questions or comments that you have there. I'll try to get those answered for you in real time. If we happen to end a few minutes early, I can also stay for a couple of minutes to help answer questions then too, as well. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and jump on in. First things first, a little bit of prep work for your opportunities. Opportunities, again, guys, that's your transactions, right? It's an opportunity to have a real estate transaction with either a buyer, a seller, maybe a person that's leasing a property, or a landlord. And so you want to make sure that your signature platform is linked to Command so that you can access documents, send documents to your clients for signatures. That is definitely part of the sales pipeline process. So before you jump into opportunities, it's always good to go and check in your settings to make sure that your platform is linked. Some people use DocuSign and or dot loop. Zip forms is another one. I know some market centers actually get their forms from their board, like the Association of Realtors, like our California agents with CAR. Today, since the majority of market centers use DocuSign, that's the one I'm going to use to demonstrate today. But let me show you where your settings are. They're over here in the far right-hand corner. You would click on your name and go to settings. Going to zoom in a little bit here so you can see it a little bit better. All right, so right here are your connected apps. In a perfect world, you want to see DocuSign already listed here in a connected status. I've already disconnected ours because I want to show you what it will look like if you don't have it connected. Just scroll down and under digital signature and transactions, you see DocuSign here. It is in not connected status. You want this to show as connected before you begin creating opportunities. That way, everything is linked up proper. So in this case, let me show you a couple of things to get it connected correctly. Excuse me. So first thing, DocuSign account does need to be created from within your command account in order to be the KW Rooms version of DocuSign. That means it's a compatible version, basically. You may have had a previous DocuSign account, maybe a free account, maybe a paid account that you've created before. But in order to be properly linked to command, it does need to be created from within your command account. If you have any questions at all, maybe you're running into errors, maybe you're not sure if your DocuSign account is compatible, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to jump in and tell you if it is, and help get you a compatible account. But from right here within your settings and command, you can actually choose to click Connect Account. And right here, if you were to fill out these form fields and click Send Registration Email, it will send you an invitation to create a KW Rooms DocuSign account, a compatible account. You just got to make sure that the preferred email you're using is not currently linked to any existing DocuSign account. Okay. So that is the way that you can actually create an account if you don't already have one. If you do already have that KW Rooms DocuSign account and you just need to get it linked to command, you would click Login here. You would put your email address in this field. Give me 2 shakes. I'm going to grab mine, or the one we use, rather. There we go. So you'd put your email address there that you already have your DocuSign account with and click Log In. It will open another window. Usually will require your password to be entered at that point. So you'd go ahead and enter your password and choose Login. Now we have that teal banner that it is connected. Notice that DocuSign is now up at the top underneath our connected apps, and it is in connected status. That means we're good to go. Okay, so that was just a brief tutorial on making sure that your signature platform is linked to Command prior to beginning your opportunities. Okay, so now let's go on over to your Opportunities tab. It's the one right here, the two hands that are shaking. I'll give that a click. If you're not familiar with the icons in Command, you can always click that red square and it will pop out the names for you. You can click that red square again to hide them. So this is your Opportunities tab. I'm going to give you a general overview of this dashboard, and then we'll jump into actually creating an opportunity. So for this dashboard, you may see different tabs up here in the top left, your individual agent tab right here. If you are on a team, you may also see a team tab as well. And then you have an all opportunities tab back here. Right here on this particular tab, when you see your dashboard, and I'll go through these sales pipelines here in just a second, what you're seeing on this dashboard is your past 30 days and current activity. If an opportunity is older than 30 days, it moves to back over here underneath the All Opportunities tab. So if you're hunting a specific opportunity, you can always click this All Opportunities tab. I'll just go ahead and click it to show it to you. And this is just an easy way to come back and sort through your opportunities. You have some different search opportunities you can, or search fields that you can use. You also have different filters here that you can come through to help minimize the opportunities that you're seeing and find the one you're looking for. You can even set a smart view within the opportunities tab as well. Okay. Coming back over here to our individual tab, right here, let's go down these different sales pipelines so I can explain to them what they are and where you can get to from here. So you'll notice that we have three sales pipelines. I'm going to scroll down so you can see all three. Okay. You have the green one, which is listings, the red or orange as buyers, and then you have more of a purple color for leases right here. These are sales pipelines. It shows you the different phases for each pipeline. Cultivate, like you're getting to know that contact, developing that relationship, beginning to have that real estate conversation. You have an appointment with them, set the appointment. This is for when you keep the appointment. And then active. This is when you're putting pen on paper, right? You've got a signed agreement with this person and you're now engaged in business. Under contract, pretty self-explanatory. Either that listing has now got an active buyer on it, or you have a buyer that has now put a particular property under contract. And closed is also self-explanatory. This means you've actually gotten to sit at the closing table and finalize this deal. So these particular 5 phases are here, and it shows you a little icon for each one and how many opportunities you have in that particular phase. So you'll see here that we have 10 opportunities in Cultivate, 7 in Appointment, 8 in Active, and so on. If you scroll down to the lease sales pipeline, the only difference is right here, instead of under contract, leases show as pending. So you'll see that little bit of a difference. Okay. Scrolling back up, each one of these icons, those are hyperlinks. When you hover your mouse over those, you can click into this particular sales pipeline, and I'll show you that in just a second, okay? So that you can see what it looks like when you actually click into your sales pipelines. Underneath, you'll see a little bit of information, how much volume that you have within that particular phase and the average time your opportunities are spending in each phase. So it gives you a little bit of glimpse about your business. You'll have that underneath each phase. And then over here in the right hand corner, for each one, you'll have your GCI, your gross commission income. There's 2 different figures here. The top one is the potential. If all of these opportunities actually made it to the closing table, that's your potential income based on those opportunities. However, The likelihood of all of those opportunities actually getting to the closing table is not very realistic for most agents' businesses, right? There's usually a probable outcome. And so this is your probable income based on the percentage of probability that all the opportunities are going to get to closing. This is more likely the income that you're looking at. Okay. So you'll have GCI for your listing sales pipeline, your buyer pipeline, and also your leasing pipeline. Okay. So that's the top half of your dashboard. Remember, these are the opportunities for the last 30 days. Once an opportunity, oh, I want to change that for a little bit. Last 30 days if they've closed. All your opportunities for cultivate, appointment, active, they will continue to show here as long as they are in those phases. So let me correct myself. When I say 30 days, after they've closed. They will appear here for 30 days and then they will travel back to the All Opportunities tab. Okay. Coming on down gives you just some more visual graphics of your business. On the left, you'll have a ratio graph here, again showing listings, buyers, and leases. It shows you how many you have of each type and your probable and potential GCI. Okay, just a different way of showing that graphic, how much of your business is actually listings versus buyers versus leases. And then you'll have an activity graph right here that you can toggle back to see the activity you've had with all your opportunities, listing, buyer, landlord, or tenant. So you can swap back and forth to see what that has looked like for you. This can give you an idea of what your peak seasons are. I think for most areas, peak season generally is in the summer. However, not always, right? So you can definitely take a gander at that. And down at the bottom, if you have any opportunities that are currently closing within that same month, you'll just have a little quick checklist here that you can look at to see which opportunities are going to be closing. Scrolling back up to the top, from here, now that we've given you an overview of this particular dashboard, let's look at how to actually create an opportunity from scratch. You'd come up here to the top right and click Create Opportunity. First field, Market Center. If you are in multiple market centers, you will definitely want to make sure that you choose the correct market center from this list before clicking Create for that opportunity. Once the opportunity is created for a particular market center, there's no way to swap it over to another one. You'd actually have to start a new opportunity over. Okay. So make sure you got the right market center. For your team, again, if you're on a team, your team will more than likely automatically populate here. But if it doesn't, and if your Rainmaker has allowed the team members to create opportunities under their personal account, you may see this as an active field and you can choose from a drop down what you want to select. For the opportunity type, today we're going to choose listing, but again, choose whichever is appropriate for your situation. Owner, again, if you're a solo agent, this will always be you. And then client. Don't be alarmed when it says no options. You can just begin to type here, type the contact's name. So we're just going to choose fake because we have our person, fake person that we'll choose. And what is populating here are contacts from your command contacts. And you can choose your guy from the drop down like so, or if you haven't created this person as a contact in your command contacts just yet, there is that. Let me move him back out of that field and start again. So when I start typing, you'll notice at the bottom it says add new contact. You can always choose that to create that contact and in the moment of you creating your opportunity. So today we're just going to go down and grab our little guy. There we go. You can also add a co-seller here or co-buyer if you're doing a buyer opportunity. And then opportunity name. It does default to your contact's name. hyphen and the type of opportunity that you're doing, but you can easily put your cursor in here and change this. Like for a listing, it might be easier if you put a part of the address, the property address. That means you'll be able to, at a glance, recognize that's that opportunity, right? Or if it's a buyer, maybe having the buyer's name will help you. But again, just know you can customize this to be what you want. Custom tags. These are similar to your command contact tags, but they are not the same set of tags. They're separate. This is just a way to label and organize your opportunities. Maybe you have a niche in the market. You like working with seniors or military or relocation. If you can think of a way to organize your opportunities, definitely go ahead and create a tag for that. You can do that right here. So you can just begin typing in the label, choose the tag that you can see here already if it's already created. But if it isn't, we don't already have this particular tag created, it will give you the option to create that tag. So we can just click that and it will make a tag. You can add as many as you would like. Again, this just helps when you come back here to your All Opportunities tab and you want to filter through your opportunities. Maybe you want to look back over the last quarter and see how many you've done that were with the military. How many did you do in seniors? That kind of thing. So it's just a way to organize and filter through your opportunities and keep an eye on your business. Okay. So add as many tags as you want. They're completely optional. And down here at the bottom, you'll notice some fields have the red asterisks. So those are mandatory. If they don't have the red asterisks, you don't have to fill them out. Any of this information down here at the bottom can easily be adjusted after you create the opportunity. So no worries if you don't have this information just yet. Like you're not always going to have an estimated close date or a time frame or even an estimated list price, maybe when you're just starting to cultivate that relationship. So you can leave those blank, that's fine. For a commission rate, you'll go ahead and enter that. Again, this can be changed later. And the opportunity phase and stage. Now, I did mention opportunity phases earlier. So for every phase, remember that was cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed. So you'll see those different phases listed here, and you can choose which one that you want to pick from. Okay, we're going to just leave it at cultivate for today. But you'll also have stages within each phase. The stages can actually be customized and personalized to your business. I'll show you that at the end of class today or by the end of class today. But the stages within those phases, like for cultivate, we have a nurture stage within that phase. So that's when you're beginning to form that relationship, maybe make contact to have that first conversation, right? Watch would be the next stage. This means, okay, now you know that they do have a real estate need and you'd actually like to continue nurturing that relationship and maybe get to the conversation of saying, hey, I'm the realtor for you. And then maybe you want to move on to a hot stage because now you know that they are ready to engage in business. And the next step would be setting that appointment. So, any of these stages, you can choose to start your opportunity out at, um, but it automatically defaults to the very first stage, excuse me, very first stage within that first phase. Okay. Hope I didn't lose anybody. Put the questions in the chat if you have them. All right. And so you would go ahead and click create to create this opportunity at this point. I'm actually going to click away so we don't create another opportunity. But at that point, you have created your opportunity. And now I actually want to show you where to go find your opportunities after you create them. So that brings us back to our sales pipeline right here on the dashboard. And you can click right into these sales pipelines by clicking the icon. So I know that opportunity I just created was a listing. I know it was in the cultivate phase. And so I'm going to click right here to go find him. And so now this is what being in your sales pipeline looks like. You'll notice the 5 phases across the top. If we were to click on any of those, it would update and show the stages underneath. Remember when we were talking about cultivate? There's the stages, nurture, watch, and hot. And then these little cards down here, these are all opportunities. So you'll see the name of the opportunity, the contact that you link to it. If you entered any information like a timeline or a commissions price, things like that, you'll see those listed here on the card. And so we will circle back to some of this information as we move through the sales pipeline. I just want you to be familiar with this is what it looks like when you click into that sales pipeline. This is how you can quickly get to any phase, any stage, and you can actually go through and find your opportunities. You can also move your opportunities through the sales pipeline. I'll be showing you that today as we move through, but you would just click and drag and drop over to different stages or even different phases. Okay. We'll come back and circle back to this. We'll be here a couple of times today. But for now, I'm going to grab this this opportunity right here. And this is the one we'll use for our class today. So to actually jump into that opportunity itself and to handle business within that opportunity, you just simply click it and it opens up the opportunity. So this is what it looks like to be inside that opportunity. You'll notice at the top left, you've got a link to get back to your sales pipeline if you need to. You've got the name of your opportunity. You can see the contact information or the contact's name that you link to this opportunity. And a listing opportunity gives you this little guy right here where you can actually link a particular listing to the opportunity. Doing so will actually help information populate throughout your opportunity. I'll show you that here in just a few minutes. Over on the right, you have a few other options over here as well. Client updates. There is a way to set up your command to where your client will receive an email once a day giving them an update on certain tasks that you've completed for their opportunity. Now, don't panic. You get to control what tasks they get to see. So they won't necessarily see the one where it says, go stalk them on social media and add them as a friend, right? Or try to find their phone number, things like that. They won't necessarily get updates on different tasks such as that. But once you're under contract or once you're active, you will have tasks on your checklist like schedule a photographer, set up a listing appointment, schedule, the stager, different things like that, that you may want them to get an update for. So there are ways to set up a client update where, again, only the clients you want to would receive a daily email of the tasks that have been checked off for their opportunity in the last 24 hours. So if you're interested in that, we do have a tech tip video on our YouTube channel where you can go and follow through the steps to get that set up. Okay. To the right of that, these are the tasks in the checklist that I was mentioning. You can have a task list, or they're called checklists, for each opportunity that you create. I'm going to click on this just to show it to you briefly. Don't be overwhelmed. It is a lot, but see the different phases right here at the top. You would have different tasks that you want to complete when you're just in the cultivate phase, right? And then once you're at the appointment phase, you'll have particular tasks that you want to complete then. Once they're active, you'll have a particular set of tasks to do then, and so on. So you can click through the phases and even the stages within this checklist and have different items that you want to get done. You also can set a due date for these tasks, something that's a little different, than your regular tasks that you have over here underneath your task checklist. Your tasks icon in command. Something that's different with the opportunity tasks is you can actually set due dates based on important dates for that opportunity. Like, let's say over here in the closed phase, you want to set a task to call them in 2 weeks. Hey, how are you doing? Did you get unpacked? Have you noticed anything? Do you have a need for anything? How can I help? Right? You can set a phone call for 4 weeks out. Hey, did you get your deed from the attorney? Did it come in the mail? Da 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 da. So you can actually come and set tasks up, choose a due date, and make it be set from a particular smart due date on the actual opportunity. So let's say this particular task, we'll say we want it to be after the closing date. So we'll choose before and after the due date. We'll have it be 14 days after and choose the closing date and reschedule. And so now, bless it. We'll pretend we did not get an error and we'll go ahead and close it. So you can come in here and add those due dates. This is a demo, guys, and I've rechanged and changed so much in here that that's not unusual to see the error. So you will not see that in your account, but you can come in here and create tasks and add those due dates before, on, or after a particular date with the opportunity. So it's just a little extra benefit, extra feature within an opportunity task. You can come in here and mark them as complete, and you do have some options to edit, archive, and create new ones. I do want to provide you by the end of class with a checklist template to help get you started because maybe you don't know where to start with adding what items to your checklist. I'm going to give you a sample by the end of class so that you can go through and just literally copy from the list and paste them right here into your task list, okay? So let me go ahead and close this. That's the tasks for this particular opportunity. And you'll notice all the tabs right here at the top that are pretty self-explanatory with their name, but we are going to jump into these while we go through the sales pipeline process, which we're fixing to start, so that I can show you the life of an opportunity from the time you begin that opportunity to the time you get to the closing table. I'll show you all the steps in between. Okay. And so um, from here, let's go ahead and move on to moving your opportunity through the sales pipeline and actually walking through that sales process. Okay, so let's come back out to our opportunities here. Let's say we've already created our opportunity. Again, today I'm going to use that listing demo, but this would be the same for your buyers and your leases. So I just want to click into our sales pipeline, find our opportunity, and go through the first steps of actually getting started on that opportunity. So we would come here to my cultivate phase, and I'm just going to click into my opportunity. Now that I'm here within my opportunity, I'm on my details tab. This is the information about this opportunity. I'm going to scroll down a little bit to show you. Notice that we don't have any property information here just yet. On the left, you have like your contact's name, things like that. There's no custom tags on this particular opportunity. So you see some fields that could use a little bit of information. Coming on down, you have your key dates. This is also a field that you'd want to keep updated. Notice the little pencil up here at the top right. That's what you would click on and then be able to make changes and add dates to all of those fields that we're looking at. Okay. So photography date, I could come in and just choose from the calendar, staging date, choose from the calendar. You get the point. So we can go ahead and click save, and we'll see that those dates were added in these fields. Coming on down a little bit, you'll also see financial information in regards to this opportunity along with ownership, and that's just letting you know which market center or team that the opportunity was created for. Coming on back up, you'll see a seller worksheet as well, where you can come in and use that pencil to kind of do some calculations there for that information too. On this particular details page, the reason it's important to keep this updated is because you can actually take this information and sync it into your signature platform like DocuSign. You can see that here where we can actually sync this transaction over to DocuSign. And so all the information from your details page will feed over to the DocuSign platform. and then automatically populate in your forms, your documents that you're sending your clients for signatures. So your first stop, let it be your details page. Make sure you routinely check this. Make sure your details are up to date on your opportunity. And remember when I said the listing opportunity actually gives you the option to link a listing right here? That will help populate some of this information, like specifically the property details. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to link a property to your opportunity now. So this is part of filling out the details. So we'll select a listing. Do not be alarmed that this says, sorry, no listings match your search. If you haven't synced your MLS to your command yet, it just means it's not pulling your listings right here. You can still link a property to your opportunity without syncing your MLS. You would do that just by coming over here and showing all listings or my MC listings, your market center listings. Okay. So you can filter it that way. And now you'll see that it's starting to populate different listings. You can search by street address or MLS number. MLS number is generally going to be your best friend in this just because addresses are duplicated across the United States, even the world. So use the MLS number when you can. Just going to put our sample listing in here. Click search KWLS and it will come up right here. Just eyeball, make sure this is the one that you're wanting it to be. You can double check that MLS number, check that status, check that address. Once you know that, yes, this is that one that I was looking for, you can go ahead and select and click X. Now notice our listing is now linked to our opportunity. And look over here, our property details automatically filled in for us. Okay, so again, just a little bit of a benefit on a listing opportunity to help you get those details pre-populated is by linking that listing. This will also help you in the marketing tab. Now, normally I would click on this and show it to you, but it's having a hiccup today and it's broken. And as soon as I click on that, it's going to kick us out of opportunities. So I'm not going to click on him. We have another class, opportunity marketing and checklist. It is on our YouTube channel. In fact, I think we taught that last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. So you'll have a recent archive on our YouTube if you ever want to deep dive into marketing and checklists. We have a class specifically for that to really customize that for your business. But the marketing tab is just a place that has some shortcuts in order to create marketing pieces for this particular listing. And by having your listing linked to your opportunity, it automatically populates that information into the marketing pieces, like into the social pieces and things like that. So the social designs. And so definitely check this out, check that class out if you're interested. But the marketing tab is special to a listing opportunity. Your buyer opportunities won't have this because you're not technically going to create a marketing piece of your buyer, right? So that is what your marketing tab will be. Next is your documents. So this would be the next step in your sales pipeline. Now that you've created an opportunity, you've gotten your details tab filled out as much as you possibly can. You know that's going to update as you move along through the process. But now let's go over here to the documents tab. This is what is going to show you the forms you need for your transaction every step of the way. Okay. Mine may look a little different than yours because this will be customized to your market center. Over here, when you click on documents, your first step, you'll want to come right here and choose a particular checklist. So these are all the checklists that are available with this particular market center. Each market center is going to be different. You'll just want to make sure you choose the option that best represents the opportunity you're creating. Okay, so for this, we're just going to leave it as residential listing. And you'll notice over here on the right-hand side, it shows the documents. These are the documents that you need to complete and turn into your market center for compliance. Notice the requirement field. Pay close attention to this. You can even click it to sort it in different orders. Okay. Your red labels will be the required documents. You will absolutely need these to turn in to your Market Center for compliance. Then you may see some conditional labels, pretty self-explanatory, but that may be required in certain situations. And then you should see some optional. Let's scroll down here and see our yellow optional. There it is. So you'll see some optional labels as well that will let you know that that is an optional document that you can include to turn in for compliance. Okay. Scrolling back up, the left-hand column is just showing you your status. This one was already uploaded. You can see the green hyperlink right here. I already uploaded a PDF right there. And then you may also see not uploaded under review, might be another option that you'll see. Up here in the top right, I do want to point out to you that if you're just starting your opportunity, this little area may look a little different. It may say start a transaction instead of go to a transaction. Okay. That's the next step in your sales pipeline. You would want to click the start a transaction button. What this is going to do is, since we use DocuSign, it will create a DocuSign room in your DocuSign account that is linked to this opportunity. That means whenever you need to jump into DocuSign, you could come right here and click Go to transaction because that's what it changes to after you create your DocuSign room. So the first time you click Start a transaction, and every time after that, since the room is already created, you would click Go to transaction. Now, once you have a DocuSign room created, that's the place where you go to get your documents, where you would fill them out, where you would send them to clients to get signatures, and then you would receive them back signed. Okay, we have a DocuSign 101 class that goes over that portion. We go over that platform in detail, show you how to find your forms, edit them, send them for signature, and get them back. Okay, so you would just come here to your opportunity, come to your Documents tab, and the very first time you'll want to click that Start a Transaction. The reason you want to do this at first with your opportunity is to make sure that this opportunity is properly linked to your DocuSign. If you go into DocuSign first and create a room there, instead of coming through your opportunity the first time, they won't be properly linked. And remember, I said this Details tab, you can sync over to your DocuSign to help pre-fill your forms. That won't work if you don't come in this opportunity first and then click Start a Transaction. Okay? So just want to be very clear, your very first time for this opportunity, you'll want to come through the opportunity first to create this room by clicking Start a Transaction. Then after that, if you need to go directly into DocuSign to handle a document, upload, send one out for signature, that's fine. You can go right to DocuSign to do that. It's just your very first time and making sure that everything is linked properly, come to your opportunity first. After you've clicked that Start a Transaction that first time, now you'll see this option. It'll just say Go to Transaction. And at any point in this opportunity's life, you can come over here and click Go to Transaction, and it should open that KW rooms in the DocuSign account for you so that you can just jump right on over and look at those documents. Another benefit of this is once you have those documents signed, you can come right here in your opportunity, click your Documents tab, come down here to your documents, and actually upload documents directly from your DocuSign account that you got signatures for so that you don't have to manually download forms, manually upload them in Command. It's linked, so it will help you just literally by coming right over to these fields, clicking them, and if we had any signed documents, they would populate in this drop down so that you could add them. Okay? Another way to get forms added into your opportunity is you literally can drag and drop them. So instead of getting files from DocuSign, I can choose to get them from my computer. So I can choose to browse my computer's files, or Let me just grab a file here for you guys. Grab us a PDF. There we go. And I can just drag and drop right on over. It may take it a second. See how it's gray? There you go. Now we get the banner of success. Now it turns into that hyperlink. So I can go and click on that PDF at any time if I need to look at it. You also have a little bit of options over here underneath the three dots. I can remove or print it. Okay. So as I'm getting my documents in over here, I do have the option to pull them directly in from my DocuSign platform or from my computer. It's just whichever you prefer or wherever the form may be. And once you've gotten all of your forms in here for your listing, notice we have different folders over here. Once it's listed, when it goes under contract, and when it's closed. Okay, so notice the forms changed each folder I clicked on. Since it's a listing opportunity, when I'm putting it under, excuse me, once I'm getting that listing active, this is my listed folder. These are the forms I'll need to make sure are uploaded or linked right here. And then I'll need to submit it to my Market Center for compliance. Okay. So we just signed the listing documents. I just uploaded them here onto my opportunity. And now that I have them all uploaded, I can click submit to my Market Center. This sends a notification to your Market Center staff that they can review it. You will get a notification right here. And also, you can come in here and check the status of your opportunity, and it will let you know whether it was accepted, rejected. Maybe they made a note that they need something further from you. You'll be able to see that communication. Okay, so just keep your eye on your notifications bell here, and it should let you know when you have compliance come back. So, sign your documents. You turned in your listing agreement. Well, now you have an offer on your listing, or maybe your buyer is making an offer as the next step. So then we would go over to our offers and commissions tab. And this is where you can add your offers. So since this is our listing, we've received an offer. I'm going to come in here and click add new offer. From right here, get a lot of feedback about this particular issue right here. So I'm going to walk through this with you carefully. You would first want to name your offer. So we're just going to say first offer because maybe we're expecting a couple more. Property address. Notice it automatically populates because we linked that listing to the opportunity already. However, sometimes people get an error right here when they're trying to accept the offer. So I just want to nip this in the bud and just let you know if you get any errors about this, make sure you come over to select from the KWLS. It's that same thing that I showed you earlier with linking to the opportunity. You can just easily come right here, all listings, search by your MLS number, and go ahead and select that listing again. Okay, so if you have any errors, you can just come and look up this guy again. Oh, that's funny. Okay, it'll work. Trust me. It's already right here and selected, which is probably why it didn't come up. But I just want to let you know because a lot of agents do have a little hiccup right there. They have constantly been updating this particular portion of opportunities, which may be why we're seeing so many glitches. But just know if you have any beef at all right here with this property address, you know already how to go in there and select it from the KWLS. Okay. And again, you can always reach out to us and we'll be happy to troubleshoot it, jump in here and see what we can find for you too. So you would just continue to make sure that you fill out the forms with the asterisks. Okay, seller information will pre-populate for you because it's a listing opportunity. If it were a buyer opportunity, you would see the buyer information pre-populate. For the buyer info, just check what's appropriate. Are they already pre-approved? For your buyer name, go ahead and enter that. And your buyer agent's representative, you can add that. You can even add a co-buyer. Okay. And then you'll enter your terms and dates. This is just based on the offer that you've received. So you would go ahead and enter this. How much is cash? And then how much would be finance? Your earnest percentage, you can enter the percentage amount or you can enter the actual amount that they're going to do. So maybe they're going to do a 5% down earnest payment on this. And so you can go ahead and enter that here. Choose who holds it. Okay. So whoever's going to hold that escrow or earnest money, excuse me. And so then you would come to your contract date, close date, and any contingencies. If there are any contingencies on the contract, or excuse me, the offer, you could go ahead and enter them here. You could choose them from the drop down and just say the due date for that appraisal is next Friday. That's a little soon, but we'll go with it. And then home inspection, maybe that's important to them and that's on the offer as well. So you can choose a due date for that as well. Add your contingencies if you need to, and add any comments that you'd like to at the bottom. And click either create offer or create and accept. I'll go ahead and click create and accept. Ah, see? So it's given us a little ping, and it's because that address is already associated with another opportunity for this market center. So since ours is the demo account, I can't link it to an offer at this point. But what you would have been able to do right here is click, let's see if it'll save at least. There it goes. So it'll at least let me save the offer. You can see if you had multiple offers here, you would click accept or reject so that you could come in here and accept or reject an offer. Once you have an offer accepted, this particular tab would then show a commission request so that you can go ahead and fill out that commission request and submit it to your market center. If you have contingencies on your offer, like we just put in two contingencies with due dates, right? You will want to come back to this offer, edit offer, and make sure that you put the completed dates on those contingencies first. So once those are completed, you would just come in and add the completed date, okay? And save your offer again. Save and accept. Then you can go and move forward with your commission request and submit it to your market center. Okay. And so now we have our listing. We had all of our listing docs. We submitted it to the market center for approval. Our listing got an offer. We entered our offer here. In a perfect world, we would click accept that offer, and then this page would turn into a commissions request so that we could go ahead and submit the commission request to our market center. And then you would be able to come back to your documents, make sure under your contract, you've also uploaded all of your forms and submitted to your market center. And then after you close, you'd come to your closed folder and you would make sure all your forms are updated and you would submit to your market center. Okay. There's always the question usually that what happens if, like for this listing, let's say it's under contract here and the deal falls through. You do not need to create a new opportunity as long as you are still working with that client. For this case, you're still working with the seller. The listing's going to stay on the market. The deal just fell through. Or maybe it's a buyer opportunity. Their deal fell through. Maybe the home inspection came back bad or the appraisal didn't work. You're still working with that buyer to find a new property. You do not need to create a new opportunity. Stick with the same one. Make sure you're updating your details tab, right? And right here under documents, you can click this little guy right here and add a new version. Okay. So we would come here and say second contract, maybe create new version. And when you do that, you'll still have your list of forms, but now you can come in here and add the new set of documents and submit it to your Market Center again. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions about that, let us know. The other opportunities that you may want to take a different action with is maybe you aren't working with that client anymore. Maybe it was a buyer. They went out and bought a brand new car. I had that happen when I was in production and real estate. I was waiting to meet my buyers to go do some showings and they rolled up in a brand new car and it ruined all their chances. But anyway, so let's say their qualification fell through, their pre-approval fell through for any reason, and you're no longer working with that buyer, then in that case, you can actually mark the opportunity as lost. That would be under here, under your details tab. And you have an opportunity right here to mark the opportunity as lost. You would toggle that on and give an opportunity or give a reason here of why the opportunity was lost. And once you do that, you could click save, and this will be marked as a lost opportunity. You will be able to see this in your production numbers, and you won't be able to come back to this opportunity. You'll need to create a new opportunity in the future if that buyer ever circles back. I just don't want you coming over here and marking your opportunities lost all willy-nilly. Don't do that. You 9 out of 10 times can continue using the same opportunity to keep your production numbers correct instead of marking it lost or starting a new one. Okay? There's also a way to archive your opportunity. That's if it was just a test opportunity. Okay. And to do that, you have to be in your sales pipeline. So I'm going to click over in the sales pipeline, click into it. And let's say this little guy right here, we're just going to archive him. You would choose your 3 dots and archive opportunity. That means that it is just archived. You're no longer using it, and it doesn't necessarily go against your production. Okay. You're archiving it. It was a test. You no longer need it. At any given point, coming over to your opportunities tab and going to all opportunities, you can always come here and filter to see all of those opportunities, the archived, the lost, or the ones that you are actually working on or got all the way to closing. Okay. So you, at any point, you can come and see those. All right. So last but not least, I did mention that I was going to show you how you can customize your pipeline. I just want to show you that here in our last 2 seconds. So go back into your sales pipeline, either your listing or your buyer pipeline. We'll just click in. Over here in the top right, you have a stages and checklist button. This is where you can actually personalize these stages for your business. You can eliminate them, make more stages, you can rename them. Again, just customizing it for yourself. The phases can't be changed, those will stay the same, but these stages you can personalize for yourself, and you can actually make a checklist template that would apply to any of your opportunities so that you're not constantly having to make a new checklist for every opportunity. You can come right here and set up a checklist for each different stage. This shouldn't be spinning like that. They should show you like 1 of 10 or 0 of 20, however many items you have on those checklists. So not quite sure why they're having a hiccup today, but those checklists would appear right here and you'd be able to click into them and edit them, add items, remove items. You can also change the order your stages are in, and you can delete them if you don't want them, or choose a pencil and rename them. And you can even come up here and add additional stages. Maybe you have 5 different stages within your cultivate phase that you want for your business. You can do that here. I'm going to share that link with you. I said I'd share the checklist with you. I'm going to share a link in the chat with the guys that are here with me live. If you're watching this back on recording, it will be in the description of the class on YouTube. When you click on that link, it should ask you to save a copy of that document for yourself. What this is a KW document that just gives sample templates, like sample tasks that you would want to have in your active phase, your appointment phase, things like that. Okay. So you can go there and just click that, save it on your drive, and literally copy those items and paste them right into your checklist. And I'm sorry that this isn't working today. I would love to be able to open this and show you that this is like a master checklist and you could paste those items into it. When you add those items here on this particular checklist, when you're in here editing your stages and checklists, it will apply to any opportunity moving forward. So every opportunity you create after you set up your checklist, they will have those new items. Okay. But you can always, let's say you've got a client that requires a little extra grace, maybe a little extra hand holding, or just the opposite. Maybe it's an investor and they don't want to hear from you, right? As often as a normal client would. Well, in any case like that, you can always come back to your opportunities, go into your sales pipeline, and remember the checklist that you have for each opportunity right here. You can always just jump right into that opportunities checklist and take off some of these tasks if you want to, reschedule them, remove them, whatever you would like to do, or maybe add some additional tasks if you know they need that hand holding. Okay. So there's some ways that you can help personalize the sales pipeline and those checklists for yourself. Definitely check out our opportunities marketing and checklist class. That will go in a deeper dive into opportunities for you. And again, if you have any questions at all, you can always reach out to us, support at scottleroymarketing.com, and we'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.